Guten Abend and welcome back to the UBF podcast. I'm Abz.
I'm Thomas. I don't know what that was. Let's carry on.
I'm repping Germany today.
And I'm repping my newfound club, Arsenal Football Club, otherwise known as the Gunners. The Gunners. Their last premiership was in 2004.
Welcome.
Anything else? Any other facts?
Welcome to the family.
Joking. As Jamie Carragher said, this man on my back is you just get excited when this man plays. He just what's the word that he used to describe? He hasn't seen a better player on the ball,
Running with the ball
in the Prem. This man is known by ESR, otherwise known as
Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. Oh,
what a player!
Honestly, mate.
Closely followed by Cole Palmer in my books, but I absolutely love Emil Smith Rowe. He's always got a special place in my heart. Fun fact: my mate in 2018 actually messaged him before he blew up, and I got a response back from Big Emil. Wish that was me. That's all I was saying.
Emil's for the people, mate.
He's a good man. Abdul, how was your week, mate?
Yeah, pretty good to be honest. Went out to the Wanderers game on the weekend. You know, we all did.
We'll talk about that later.
We got to see a special sideman as well.
We did, yes.
Mr. Toby Jizzle himself.
Yeah, we invited him on the podcast. Unfortunately, couldn't come down.
Oh, yeah. I think we might have been a bit too big of a podcast for him to come into. No. Jokes aside, he's a great guy. Arsenal won 5-0. Made the night pretty great as well. Can't complain there.
Do you want to know what made my night?
What?
Your goalkeeping performance last night.
Oh, honestly, mate. Look, to be fair, you scored a banger. I'll give you that.
Great goal, mate.
But not much got past me yesterday.
Unfortunately, the fans can't get to see it because there's no footage. But trust me,
Hey.
the definition of top quarter. Listen, can you second that? I'm not even trying to joke around.
Top
Can you
ins.
okay,
I wasn't like and to be fair, I expected you to go new post like you did before, and you know I got a hand out, but my hand wasn't far enough. It went into the top bins, but it was a great performance.
It's always good to score goals, unlike a certain team in the Prem.
Crystal Palace,
the Eagles.
Oh mate, you know they were lackluster, and look, we weren't necessarily at our, you know, scary best. You know, playing. We were in second gear all game.
I actually don't think you got out of second gear. I'll be honest. I think you maybe hit third gear once when Palace decided to go to put three at the back. Gahey came off, and they sort of decided to go. You know what? We've got to go salvage something here. Give the fans something to celebrate away, even though it's London versus London. But that's when I think sort of Martinelli hit. He came off in the 69th minute.
With a special someone.
Yes, sorry, that was weird. He came over with CSR, and I think that's when they sort of decided to go into third gear and absolutely killed it.
Yeah, look, the other Gabriel scored. I'm counting the second one as his goal as well. But he scored two very nice corners. Our set piece coach, I don't know where you came from.
Where's he from?
Man City.
Time to get down to Fairfield then. our set pieces are horrific, but no. Nicolas Silva, I think.
Nicolas Silva, yeah.
Has he got the most goal?
13.
Wow.
13 goals in the Prem from set pieces alone.
When did he come over? Last year or this year?
I think it was last season.
Wow. You guys were even good last year on set pieces.
Yeah, last year. And you know what? I noticed Declan Rice was taking him this week.
Of course, what do you expect?
Big Decky. You know what? Because he can get it past the first man. I love Trossard. I love Martinelli. But like they just hit the first man every time.
Yes.
Declan Rice actually found the back post on more than one occasion.
Do you think though, okay, two brilliant deliveries.
Yeah.
Do you think you lose some of that presence in the box?
What a tall team. Havertz, Gabriel, Saliba, if Tomiyasu and Ben White they're fairly tall as well.
Havertz.
Havertz 6'3", 6'4". It's my boy, mate. Jesus can jump, to be fair.
I think I'm taller than Gabby.
But can you jump higher than Gabby?
No.
I don't think so.
I can't jump, to be honest.
Mate.
That's why I said bring him to Fairfield. We'll see. He'll teach me how to play.
But look, all in all, I think we needed that. And I said it a couple of weeks ago. I said that we needed a team to literally just bend over for us.
Yeah, correct. You needed easy points, and I don't think it came easier than Crystal Palace. They've been in shambles. I think they've got one win in their last 12.
Yeah, 3 in their last 20.
Shit.
And I noticed during the game that the fans brought out these signs.
I've never seen a brother, Roy Hodgson, just completely soul search, stare into abyss and go, I'm expecting a knock on my door any day now.
And I'm not talking about my grave.
The brother's old, but no, listen, I don't think I've ever seen a manager just look. He from the 88th minute to the 95th, he just looked.
Look, and before we get onto those signs, Martinelli came on, man. He needed that. He needed just that space to just go.
2 goals in 3?
2 goals in 3 minutes, I believe. Yeah, in extra time.
Rapid.
Opened up his hips and Henry-esque.
I was going to say that. Certain Henry-esque finish.
Yeah.
About 2 of them. Beautiful. Mate, you can't, unsavable.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it.
Perfectly placed.
But I can't lie. I'm happy for him. And I've been critical of him, and you know, and it's only because I want to see the best of him. I love him as a player, but that's just not the Martinelli we know. I saw glimpses of 2022, 23 Martinelli.
I think, as you called for 2 or 3 podcasts ago, taking him off was the right decision.
Yeah.
And it paid dividends. He came on. He looked energized. Don't get me wrong. You're always going to start the game when you come on. You're going to have that 5-10 minutes. But come on the 69th. You still got maybe 20-30 minutes to give something.
Yeah.
He did brilliantly. Yeah. He brilliantly.
I think the fans for Crystal Palace done brilliantly with those signs.
You reckon?
Yeah.
For me, listen, fans, they're entitled to their opinion.
Yeah. It was an just to let you know, it was an organised strike.
I think it's bigger than the coach.
I agree with you, and I think that needs to be heard. And the owners were there. The owners got shown on camera. They were
Do
there.
You know who else was there?
Mr. Graham Potter,
the ex-Chelsea man.
Yeah,
Mr. Graham. Listen, he's heavily linked. As I saw Hodgson soul searching, I think it's any day. I think give it 2 weeks.
Yeah. Look, before we get onto that, because I want to hear your opinion on Potter taking over Palace.
Yeah.
The signs said, and I quote, "Wasted potential on and off the pitch, weak decisions taking us backwards." Another banner was seen, "No shared vision, no structured plan. Parish out, Yankee out." And Parish and Yankee are the owners of the club. I think they both own a certain percentage of, sorry, not Yankee, Yanks. My vision is horrible.
Are they the high shareholders?
I believe so. Okay. Well, Palace owner is Steve Parish. He refused to react when it was brought up, as he gave a stony-faced reaction alongside club legend Mark Bright.
To be honest, you can't do much. You just look there and you can't really get animated.
He's not going to know. Mate, these owners are a bit clueless sometimes. Interesting stat. Hodgson's current reign, Vieira's time in charge, and the previous stint for Roy Hodgson all resulted in a 1.21 and a 1.22 average points collected per game. So, goes to show you, and I think you're right, it's more than just what's on the field.
It's bigger.
It's bigger than that.
Problem.
Because I feel like they're becoming a bit stagnant. I think Crystal Palace used to be, you know, we got to go away to Crystal Palace.
You know what? Selhurst Park has always been a park you don't want to take easy.
No.
You know, it's a small ground. It's tight. Yeah. The fans get up for it. But I think there's only so much the fans can do. There's so much only the players can do and the coach. I think sometimes you got to question the off-field. And I think this is a perfect example of it. Likewise with United. Likewise with even Chelsea at times. Last 2 or 3 years. My question to you, Abz.
Yeah.
Are the fans right?
Yeah.
Into saying this, and do you think that Graham Potter is the right man?
If they give him time, yes. I think the one thing he didn't have at Chelsea was time, and I felt like he copped the Emery treatment at Chelsea.
He copped the Emery treatment. However, I don't. Listen, it's always going to come after. It's after Tuchel. For me, our best coach since Mourinho.
Yeah,
for me.
And by Emery treatment, just to clarify, I mean, they weren't. I still think if they were given more time, they probably could have done a good job. But just because they left after a successful manager, and they got shafted.
I think that Brighton team made Potter look good. I'll be honest. I don't think Potter is a top 4 manager.
No, but that's why I say Crystal Palace will be perfect for him.
It's his level.
It is.
It's his level. Don't get me wrong. He'll go to Wolves, do a job.
Yeah. I'd rather him go to Palace than coach England. From
I wouldn't mind him at Newcastle.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Newcastle. I don't mind him at Newcastle. I don't mind him at Newcastle. Him and Trippier look very like father and son bond. But I think top 4 club, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Speaking of a top 4 club, do you think that game was Arsenal's kickstart to finding a good run of form again? Because I think
Put it
we
this way.
haven't
Put it
taken
this
off
way.
yet.
Sorry to cut you off. Put it this way.
Yeah.
Pretend Palace is a injured bird. Okay. Because they're an eagle. Sorry. Pretend they're an injured bird.
Yeah.
And you've come across it.
Yeah.
And you just look at it and you just keep throwing stones at it.
Yeah.
That was the game. So for me, it's like beating a horse when it's down.
Yeah, but do you think that these type of games, when you're not having to apply as much pressure and score like you're scoring, considering the form you've been in, means that when you go into a game that you need to up the ante a little bit, it makes it easier for you to score?
It's important to do a job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's important to score 4-5.
Yeah.
2 of them came from corners.
Yeah.
However, it goes in the back of the net, goes in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Don't forget, 2 of them came in extra time when David Raya did a brilliant pass and Crystal Palace committed 15 players forward.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, there's only 11 on the field. Hence the emphasis. I'm literally saying they committed their whole team forward besides the keeper.
Yeah.
So put it into perspective, Abdul.
Yeah.
But it's crucial that they took their chances.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
But I'm going to leave it on this point. I think David Raya had his best game in an Arsenal
I
show.
agree. I agree. He saw the podcast.
Mate, he watched episode 1.
Ramsdale texted me. It is what it is.
On to another person we've mentioned in this podcast.
Can I make an apology? Nunez. Is the experiment over? I apologise. Scored a double. I would like to apologise and say keep going. I saw a stat as well. Only player in the Prem to get 10 goals, 10 assists in all competitions. Sorry, not in the Prem, in all competitions. 10 goals, 10 assists. Like a certain man ESR back in the day. But 10 and 10, Darwin, I apologise. I think you're shining because of Salah's absence. And I think Jota is still a better player than you. I'll be honest. But call a spade where it's spade. 2 goals for both Jota and himself. I hope you accept my apology, Liverpool FC. Invite me down to training. I'll do it one-on-one.
I'm going to dig my heels in.
Here we go.
Not apologising just yet. Only because I think that Nunez has the potential. We're starting to see it now. I need to see it over a consistent basis.
The second goal was good. I can't even lie.
It was a nice goal. Well taken goals, but at the same time, he still misses a lot of chances.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree on the point.
And I'm not saying that, and I know Haaland misses a lot of chances too, but Haaland still puts away 3 out of the 5 that he takes, whereas Nunez is more likely to put away the 1 or the 2 and get an assist. For me, I just want to see consistency. And if come the end of the season he's scored his 20-25 goals, let's just say.
Do you reckon that's achievable?
I think so. I think if Salah's, I agree with you, because I think the fact that Salah's not there makes him the focal point of that team. Jota is a great support act because he does his job.
But I think Darwin in games switches off at times.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Jota air swung the ball, recovered well, did a little pirouette and went, ooh, the ball's still in play. It's still there. Get to it first. Or I think Darwin, he sort of
Scratch his head if you
scratch his head. Goes back to Uruguay, has a matcha tea, whatever those South Americans drink. But it's like, I think Jota just stayed alert, focused, and I think Darwin, if he adds that to his game, then I'll apologise with a...
He's a master of chaos. He causes chaos, and I love that. I love those type of players. That
sort of Nicholas Jackson does that as well.
Mate, only chaos is causing is in Astrodwet's inbox. But yeah.
Different podcast.
Look, on to the interesting stats from the game for me. I think just a quick one. Connor Bradley is a great find. He is killing it at right back.
I don't mind. I actually don't mind.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit with his ground rules, but that's considering he's still a young
Is he an
fella.
academy prospect or?
Yeah, he's come through the academy, I believe. Gomez found Nunez with I'm going to call it an exquisite cross.
Yeah, it was a good ball.
Really nice cross, mate.
But that finish from Nunez, not easy.
No,
I'll tell you why it came in. But
from the right, on his right.
The way he adjusted his foot, and if you look at the zoom up close up angle, he actually as the ball was coming to me, adjusted his foot. Yeah. Because if he kept it still, it would have like rebounded like a trampoline. Just went bang, would have went wide. Yeah. But he actually adjusted it and he opened his body nicely to find that bottom right hand corner. Now I can't even lie, great goal.
Now make it make sense when he misses a sweaty. Right in front of the goal with an open. I don't know. That's Nunez for you.
Well, the expected goals were close, Abdul. 1.67 to Liverpool, 1.37 to Bournemouth.
Bournemouth only had 3 less shots. And 2 big chances created each. It's just Bournemouth couldn't put them away. Like I think it was their right winger. I don't remember the name.
David Brooks?
It might have been Brooks. It might have been Aaron's. That who's the right back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. They had a chance right down the middle, and he scuffed it. But yeah, the XG was fairly close. It looked a lot closer on the stats than it did watching the game.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's just counter-attacking football. But it goes to show you, though, if Liverpool play a bigger team, a better team, are they vulnerable?
For me, I think you need to twist that question differently. Are they the real deal? I think they are, to be honest. I'll be honest, like I said, I'll always back it. I do think Arsenal still will find a way to find a way to win the league. And I'll still stand by. I think Liverpool second.
My thing with Liverpool, and apologies because I know you guys are going to eat me alive for this.
Here we go.
The games you've played Man City and the games you've played Arsenal, and again, you can only beat or draw what's in front of you. Those two teams have not been clinical at all that game. That Man City game could have finished 4-1, 3-1, 4-1 against Liverpool, if you remember.
So you think they're riding their luck?
I think it's... I don't want to completely say they're riding their luck. I just think that there's games during the season where they've been lucky because the other team hasn't necessarily put their chances away or haven't been themselves. I think the Arsenal game, like, we weren't our... It was the start of the not so clinical Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree.
The Man City game, then again, even the game in the League Cup where we played them, where we probably should have wrapped that game up at half time. Like, it's very hard to kind of discredit them because I love the effort. They're a team that mentally is arguably the strongest in the Premier League, but you know, City and Arsenal.
Mate, it's still from the coach.
It's
still from the coach.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's built an absolute tenure there. Deserves a statue. Give him 2-3.
Yeah.
But for me, they're the real deal. Honestly, for me, they're constantly proving me wrong.
Yeah.
And I love nothing more than to prove it wrong. I love nothing more than to make like an idiot. We'll get onto our good friends from Japan. But for me, mate, absolute real deal. They are definitely within the top two.
Now, someone who's proven a lot of people wrong with just his first game coming back, Mr. Ivan Toney.
Mate, never doubted him from a minute.
If you're watching this, mate, you can take whatever number you want. I'll pay for your taxi to the Emirates. Just please sign with us.
Mate, bit of a cheeky though. See how he moved that
the ball to the right.
You know, I don't mind that. When I coach, I've always got a word that my good friend Jose Mourinho inspired me on. Abdul, I want your hand over that yellow button very soon. I'll tell you when. In football, there's a phrase where you've got to be an intelligent. That means when the referee is not looking, kick the ball away, no problem.
Yeah.
Make sure that the opponent knows we're not here to. We're not here to. We're not here to. I get the point. We're not here to, mess around. Yeah. So, for me, I've instilled that into all my teams that I've coached. Yeah. And for me, that's what really has signaled a really good team because they understand the meaning of whatever you do, it's got to be towards a win.
Yeah.
Every moment, every action, every positive thing that we do has to be a win.
Yeah.
If that means you got to be dirty for a minute to play 89 minutes clean, beautiful football, you got to dig deep when it's tough.
Yeah.
And for me, Toney, mate, must be working on those free kicks. And I went, you know what? Ooh, I like that angle. Just maybe move that. Yeah, maybe move that tape. No problems. Mate, absolutely killed it. Beautiful goal. 3-2.
Yeah, and see, sadly, I don't think Brentford will let him go. Not just yet. Maybe not in this window. Maybe the next one.
That would be stupid to let him go.
Yeah. Now. But yeah, look, 3-2 win at the end of the day for Brentford. We both appreciate Mr. Thomas Frank and his team. So I think that's the next jersey this brother's going to buy. A Brentford jersey with a Thomas Frank on the back.
No. In Bebu. Brian.
And Wembley.
That's the one. Brian.
And the last bit of Premier League point I want to cover this week is...
Yeah.
VAR, honestly, where the hell's the consistency? Like, we are going through incident upon incident upon incident that I'm watching 4 different outcomes come out from it.
Abdul, can I ask you something? Andre Onana.
Yeah.
Robert Sanchez.
Yeah.
Areola. I don't know the brother's first.
It was Fabianski.
No, he came on to save the penalty. But he came on to
save it. No, it was Fabianski that committed the foul.
Was it?
Alphonse Areola came off injured before the penalty. The penalty was taken.
My apologies.
Yeah.
So those 3, what's the difference? It's the exact same thing.
Sanchez absolutely knocked Jesus into next week.
Onana's was worse.
Onana's
was worse.
Onana knocked the bloke into next year.
Onana did a full fist punch, professional technique, and went bang on the Wolves guy.
Our producer will be proud of it.
Okay. But for me, I absolutely do not understand the difference between all three of those. Credit, though, to McBurney. Great finish. I think he scored 4 in 4 now. Ollie McBurney. 4 pens, though. I'm joking.
Great cross by McAtee.
Brilliant cross.
I'm loving watching these City boys grow outside of the Etihad.
Is that a certain...
No. The minute I said that, I'm like, okay. We're going to cut that out, producer. Nah. Okay. Watching their development grow, into being the superstars that they can be, Cole Palmer, McAtee, even, look at your Oscar Bobs.
Even Diaz in Spain.
Yeah, Brahim Diaz.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Ferran Torres at Barcelona. Like a lot of these younger ones that left City, they're growing into their own now. And they're becoming men.
There's always a question for Oscar Bob as well. Will he go for the minutes? But I'll tell you a team that needs to develop. My team, West Sydney Wanderers versus Perth Glory 2-1, mate. First half, I wouldn't use the word dominated, but I think the first 15, 20 minutes,
had a lot of the ball.
We asserted ourselves. Yeah. We had a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the brother Yodit, who we managed to get into, we thank you for the Wanderers for that as opportunity as well, but we missed him. Oh my God, we missed him.
I think we've been missing his presence, his ability to look up.
His ability to look up and just go, okay, the right's overloaded, no worries. I can do a 20-yard diag switch to my left back and right back with ease.
Yeah. And it's what we're lacking. He gives us direction, Tom.
We can't do that.
The beauty of his game is that he's got eyes on the back of his head as well. So he understands the pressures that, the midfield's under. Yeah. And he looks like, it's basic. Like, these are things you learn.
Very young.
Very young.
One thing for you, Abdul, one question. From minute 1 to minute 90, how many switches do you reckon the Western Sydney Wanderers do from the left to right? From our left back to our right winger, or from our right back to our left winger? How many switches do you reckon we did?
Not many.
Abdul, my father's favourite analogy. What's inside a donut? Very bad. Very bad. I don't understand why. Because it's Perth set up in two blocks of four. 2 blocks of 4. So they're just shifting all day. Very easy to defend, Abdul.
Yeah.
And especially because Anderson wasn't dropping deep to retrieve the ball, trying to break that line. Yeah. How do you make a line break, Abdul? You got to shift it. So they were just literally guiding, shifting left to right, no problem. But eventually, you got to switch it. You got to try and break their shift.
I think there's a way to describe it. It's just lethargic football. Yeah. Like, it's tiring to watch.
So passive. We look so passive. There was no driving runs. There was nothing.
There's no conviction. Perth played with conviction. They didn't do much. They had not much of the ball. Okay. But when they attacked us, they attacked with conviction. There was even the strikes they're taking from Yonkers away. You felt the force behind it.
Listen, my Balkan brate, Kolosovsky. Oh, apologies if I butchered that. Mate, brilliant goal. Brilliant pass by Taggart. Yeah. The brother's still doing it at 35, 36. Yeah.
Involved in both goals as well.
Brilliant ball.
Yeah.
Seriously, brilliant ball.
Yeah. Look, Marcelo did find the back of the net. Got counted as an own goal.
Cancellation. Seriously. Consolation.
Yeah.
I'll eat my words if it's definitive of us becoming top 4 with that one goal. But consolation.
I think, all right, then the question here is, can they rescue this? Because it's win-loss. It's literally the last 5 games have gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win.
Abdul.
Can they rescue their season?
Okay. Do you win the game with the ball or without the ball?
With the ball.
Okay. Perth had 31% of the ball.
Yeah, I know.
So Perth had 31% of the ball.
We're defying logic.
If I was in charge of the West Sydney Wanderers tomorrow, nicely, maybe just do some switches. Just try and break their shift. Maybe could we try and get one of our strikers or attacking forwards maybe coming in just to try and break that line. And then once that happens, then we can have a talk.
I've got another training ground thing they might be able to do. You can't stand in your spot for more than 2 seconds. Move.
Except for the keeper.
Keeper can stay there. But move. There's no movement in the team. We get the ball.
It's very flat.
You're standing up there. You're like, oh, hey.
It's flat. But I get that.
Yeah.
I vibe with that. But for me, a week ago, we beat City 1-0. And it could have been 4. Don't tell me it could have been 4. Could have been 4.
Yeah, but we also sat back.
Abdul, could have been 4.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we do that, and then we lack. We're so lackluster on Saturday.
I'll tell you why that worked the way it did. Because the one good thing that we're good at is the counter-attacking aspect of our game. Okay, is the fact that we can sit back and just hit people on the counter. But for some odd reason, every time we're at Combank Stadium, we like to sit there and hold the ball and do nothing with it.
Guys, bank with Westpac. That's what I'm with.
Da-da-da-da-da.
That's not Westpac. That's not Westpac, brother. No.
I think I mixed it up.
What a sellout. Oh, my God.
Look.
Can you turn your season around? That's the question. You got to turn the podcast around to recover.
Look, depends how long Jodit's out for personally. And
well, he told us there's a possibility that it could be running again next week. So if we're going to use our logic, running.
Not for another month,
Thank
at
you.
least.
I reckon 2 to 4 weeks.
And then you got your Berelos as well.
Oh, jeez.
Another person that
Don't scare me.
we're so grateful that you were able to have a good 2-3 minute interview with us. And
Correct. Hey,
congratulations on the renewal.
oh, absolutely, mate. Deserves it.
Yeah.
I think we did call the exclusive, to be honest.
Yeah, we did. We got that inside information.
The scary thing, though, I know how you keep trying to say can we recover it. We're 4 points off the top now.
And 1 and 2 played each other and drew this week. Make it make sense, mate.
Great game. Did you see the scuffle?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mate,
I like it. I like the bit of passion.
onto a team that actually won 4-0 though.
Carry on.
Sydney.
One more time.
Sydney. All right. We,
Happy moment. Happy moment. Who's the team? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Sydney FC.
Okay, carry on.
Look, to be fair, Newcastle were never in that game. They had an offside goal by
My Greek friend.
Stamatolopoulos.
But actually, that wasn't bad. I've heard worse.
Um,
He's doing well in the goal charts.
yeah,
He's doing well in the goal
is.
charts.
But again, he's playing for a team. It's similar to your, what's his name? Solanke's at Bournemouth. Yeah, it's team that's not performing so well.
They had no big chances. They had 6 shots on goal. 0 really big chances. Redmayne could have had a tea, a coffee, a Coke, anything.
Could have brought out the sweets.
Absolutely,
Could have
mate.
taken a nap.
He could have. It was hot. The
was.
brother could have sunbaked.
It was.
No problems.
But they're lucky though. That could have been. Sydney at one point just tried to overplay the game, and there were times in the box where they were just.
They were making 6 passes instead of 1 cutback.
Yes,
I agree.
They're doing the Man City trying to force a David Silva goal. If you remember that scene.
I'll tell you what. I was saying Marchand for Johnny Warren.
Lolly, mate.
Shit.
It's Lolly.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
He is, bro. He was
He's
just
doing good.
dancing. You know when I say dancing, he was dancing down that right wing, and just got pushed, just rolled it like just a beautiful, caressed it into the back of that net, mate. You got to appreciate it.
You know who's good? Who I think he's had a bit of a break. He's come back. He's always been plagued by injuries. Max Burgess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 goals, very well taken.
Very well taken.
1 header at the far post, and then the last one was just found
Beautiful.
himself.
Beautiful.
Look, they're 3 points now off 3rd place.
That's why I'm scared. They're coming. They're coming for us.
Derby's coming up. MacArthur and Central Coast are also 3 points now behind the Wanderers.
I'm telling you, it's the tightest league in a while.
Yeah.
That's why it sort of shits me. Like,
Sorry, my bad. They're not 3 points behind the Wanderers. They're on the same points as the Wanderers. MacArthur and Central Coast.
yeah, but 3 point. Sydney's 3 points behind them.
Yes.
They had a really poor start, but they're recovering. But for me, like, even against Mariners, we could have been first. If we beat Mariners, could have been first. As KJ was saying, could have been first. And then another opportunity today.
Yeah.
Sorry, Saturday against Perth.
We've said it before. They're lucky to be 3rd. In all honesty,
Yeah, I can't argue.
you know, you go and beat you. Who was it for you? You beat MacArthur. You lose to Central Coast. Who'd they beat last week? It was Melbourne City. And then you lose. It's just inconsistency.
It's an inconsistency.
You don't win a league personally. Aside from Jose Mourinho, you don't win a league playing counter-attack football.
I agree.
And you know, I can't tell whether it's the way the coach is setting them up or whether it's the players he has at hand. I'm leaning towards. I think there's a few players he needs to look at and maybe attacking a transfer target or a style of player he needs. Maybe midfield. I think midfield needs a big reboot. I think maybe he needs another striker.
Well, you got to be smart. Jordit, beautiful player. Injury prone.
He needs help.
Injury prone. He can't do it by himself.
Yeah.
Injury prone as well. So don't get me wrong. touch wood that the brother never has an injury again.
Yeah.
But you got to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Depth.
Left Netherlands.
Yeah.
Went to Russia.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the injury. And then Russia to Australia.
I remember the climate as well is very different type of football as well. And
Yeah.
as he told us, he said it's a lot more demanding here.
Yeah.
It's
I was surprised by that personally.
yeah, but I just think it's Australia is known for its position football, which I'll get onto in a second because Australia beating Syria 1-0. Mate, I've never watched a team win. I just wanted to switch the television off.
I never watched a team win that didn't have conviction. Like,
Look, let's make this clear. I think at the end of the day, like all jokes aside, we want the Socceroos to do well.
mate, I want them to win the whole thing.
And I want it'd be great for this country if they win the Asian Cup at the end of the day. But in a sense, when we're talking about it in a tactical manner, I just genuinely think Australia as a footballing team does not know how to be the aggressor.
Brother, for the last 15 minutes of that first half, the amount of turnovers that I counted, I'm telling you, in my house, there's 4 members of my family.
Yeah.
I said, guys, let's put a finger up for each turnover. There was more than 40 turnovers in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Thomas, Syria would
40. Abdul, do you know how hard that is?
Yeah.
40.
I know. I'm telling you.
4-0.
I'll explain this to you. Had they had any sort of composure, Australia would have lost that game 4-1.
Correct. Abdul, they hit the post. They hit the post.
I know.
Syria. It shouldn't happen. No offense to any Syrian viewers at all. But even against India.
Oh, if it wasn't for their keeper, I'll go back and say it.
Tonight, we're versing Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Mitchell Duke is injured.
Yeah.
If we haven't already qualified, we already have. If we haven't qualified already,
Yeah.
it would be very treacherous. Yeah. Listen, we want to go out there and get a result tonight. 100%. 100%.
And that is the hardest game we've got in the group stage. Uzbekistan is a very respectable nation when it comes to football.
Don't forget, it's not like a pot draw.
No.
This is, if you come first, you're versing the second in the next group. This is a must win in my eyes.
I think they got to win by a few goals as well to ensure that they can get a third place.
Abdul, 6 points?
Yeah.
4 points.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan can never take us with a win.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I know. And Australia need to realize that because like I was just saying there, if they win by enough goals and end up being one of the best placed first teams, you best believe you're versing the third place of group, whatever it is. I think A, B, and C.
Something like that.
B, C, and E, whatever it is. Yeah.
I think next week we'll have a clearer picture.
Yeah.
In terms of those fixtures. But credit to Syria, man. No, seriously, I'm not even trying to kick them while they're down. 110% effort.
I don't think they could have done any more.
No.
Like I said.
Composure.
Composure, clinicalness, whatever you want to call it.
Simple. It just failed to materialise.
Yeah. Look, the moustache can only save them for so long. And I'm talking about Jackson Irvine. That Mo can only save the country.
What a player.
For so long.
What a player. What a Mo.
Yeah.
Wish I had it.
I think Mr. Graham Arnold, you need to wake these boys up.
Tell you who needs to be woken up.
If you remember last week, boys.
Oh, here we go. I'll let you have your moment. Have your moment, no problem. The producer's Italian, just to let everyone know. So that moment's going to be cut off. So top 10.
Top 10, baby.
Okay, 1 sec. So Brendan Borello, my good friend and valued 3-year contract extension, has actually backed me up on this. And I'll tell you what, 28% of the ball Iraq had. I understand it was on the attack, whatever. Hassan found the back of the net twice to double Iraq's lead. No one really cares. You can
someone cares, mate. Look,
okay.
Iraq played that very well. Credit to Iraq. And I'm not even going to say Japan is Japan. That credit to Iraq. And as KG said last week, and as I backed him up with it, Iraq are a formidable team in this competition.
I never questioned that.
28% of the ball against a so-called top 10 team in world football. Ayman Hussein found the back of the net twice to double Iraq's lead. He scored two goals from their 3 shots on target all game.
3 shots on target.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
They defended very well. They held Japan very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them where it hurt.
Mm-hmm. It hurt.
It hurt so much you had to drag a defender off at halftime and bring Tomiyasu on.
It hurt me.
My boy Tomiyasu.
Tommy Cafu, mate.
Tommy Cafu.
Listen, to be honest, I still stand. Now, I don't know how the draw's going to play out. They'll finish second. They'll beat Vietnam. If they don't, then I'll just give up on life. You won't see me here, guys, next week, I'll be honest. Don't take that the wrong way. I'll be living healthy, but I'll be off the podcast. They're going to face Jordan or South Korea if they finish third, whatever. My point still stands. For me, top 4. For me, finalists. For me, eventual winners of the Asian Cup.
Iraq, yeah.
Japan. Japan.
Nah, look.
Arigato.
Look.
Sorry.
Schlonak.
Okay.
Now, look. Winner plays the third place of Group D, E, and F because I think they've both.
It doesn't matter.
Iraq will beat. I think they're playing Indonesia.
Yeah, they beat them.
They'll beat them. They'll finish first in the group.
That's fine.
That's fine.
No problem.
That's fine.
No problem.
That's fine. I'm praying Vietnam beat Japan.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm praying Vietnam beat Japan.
It's not gonna happen.
In other words, my lovely nation of Lebanon, Tajikistan.
Can you say it one more time? Sorry.
Tajikistan.
Okay, carry on.
With all due respect, great team. I had not known of that country before the start of the Asian
Likewise.
Cup.
Yeah, club.
It's their debut in the World Cup. We led for the best.
Sorry, that's error of that first one. So let's just clarify.
Yeah.
My good friend Abdul said World Cup.
Asian Cup.
There we go.
My bad.
There we go. Carry on.
Let's restart there. Tajikistan beat us 2-1 yesterday. There was 16 flipping minutes of extra time, by the way.
That was a lot.
We had a red card somewhere, I think, between the 47th and the 50th minute or something early on there. We held the 1-0 lead up until the 80th minute. And then it just...
No, but you missed some chances as well. You missed some chances, brother.
I think his name is Al-Halwani. Brother.
It's actually his cousin. That's why he's felt so passionate about this situation.
Brother, he had two clear chances.
Clear.
We could have won that game and made the group stage.
For me, they were clearer than Syria's.
Yes.
For me, they were clearer than Syria's.
To be fair, I think both teams are, Syria will probably pummel both teams. And with all due respect to both Lebanon and Tajikistan, I think Syria are a much more formidable
I see it.
together team than...
I see it.
Yeah. But in other words, Tajikistan make it through. Congratulations. First time in a competition. First time making it through to the group stage. Now, to all our non-Australian viewers, this week is Australia Day.
It is. Before I cut you off, we just got some breaking news like last week. We've got our starting 11 for the game against Uzbekistan. Matthew Ryan retains his place, and Nathaniel Atkinson, deserved start. Yeah. Deserved. He's been a top player when he was at City. My boy Harry Suter, we've got an unofficial joke. Mate, he's an absolute weapon. Kyle Rolls, he's Beach. Beach, for me, has been our best player so far at this tournament.
Him and Irvine, obviously.
Oh, sorry, Irvine.
Yeah.
I forgot the Mo. Yeah, how can you forget the Mo?
How do you forget that Mo?
Bacchus, we'll move on from that one. Jackson Irvine, McGree. Now, I told you McGree should have started last week.
Yeah.
Even when he came on, looked good. So, McGree, I'm very happy about it. Hopefully, you get a goal. Martin Boyle, Jordan Boss at left wing. I don't really like that one, to be honest. I don't think he did much against Syria. And the boy I'm happy about, the only man that I think could replace Mitchell Duke, Cassini Yengi. First start for the Socceroos.
Yeah. Look, at least...
Power, strength, and directness.
Someone is listening to this podcast.
I want to know who it is, to be honest.
Graham, if you're listening, mate, much love.
Graham, don't be shy. Just shoot us a message, brother. No problem. Just let us know.
Well, look, predictions?
We'll concede. 2-1.
2-1? I think so as well.
2-1.
I think Jackson Irvine's on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Again.
Brother, he's the equal top goal scorer in the Asian Cup.
And
second, sorry. The Qatari guys got 3.
I think Boyle will score. It's getting that vibe.
Oh, what a beautiful assist he did to Irvine. How did we forget to mention that? The nut.
Yeah.
Speaking of a nutmeg, my dessert eating friend, Matthew, we'll just call him Matthew for this podcast. Matthew, brother, the nutmeg that completed on you last night by a certain man that was wearing black, filthy. Worse than Boyle's. Absolutely worse than Boyle's.
Any words?
No comment. Okay. Fair enough.
Speaking of nutmegs, my friend, how was the nutmeg I made on you yesterday when I was trying to just pass the ball out of the goal? He went, guys, just picture this. I'm in goal. I've got the ball at my, the ball at my feet because it's been passed to by one of the defenders. Mr. Tom over here tries to shut it down. Little did he know, I got that tickers. Man's got techers in it, bruv.
How did it feel to pick up the ball out of your net about 14, 15
That's
times?
fine. That's fine.
Felt
That's the only one you got.
The best goal of the day, in my opinion.
That's fine. Fair credit. We gave you your credit, mate.
Appreciate
Credit where it's due. But I got the goalkeeper nutmegged. Thomas.
It's okay. We're on the game. That's the most important. Speaking of a team that could have won their semi-final, the Matildas. No, I'm joking.
Let's commemorate this.
No, seriously, guys. This episode is going to come out on the Thursday, and obviously Australia Day will be the day after that. So seriously, guys, happy Australia Day to everyone. We know this country is, in my opinion, the best country in the world. It's the most multicultural. It is while he finally gets his flag out. Relatively short country, our history. But seriously, mate, what a beautiful country we do have. The best country in the world, in my opinion, and it's brought so many people together. If it wasn't for our multiculturalness, me and Abz wouldn't have met. Yeah. Me and Jules wouldn't have met. Myself and Akma wouldn't have met. And it's seriously, it's the best country in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I can't complain in that sense. Like, at the end of the day, we may be able to say, complain about little things in this country here and there, but it makes you grateful for the things that we don't have to deal with here. That the country's put us in a position where we're protected from certain things and are able to do things like this and have opportunities that
other countries could only dream of.
Some countries, could only dream of at the end of the day, and it makes us very grateful.
It is.
So we've decided this week to make it an Australia Day themed discussion, and I thought, what better than to go through the year that our great Tillies had, our Matildas.
For me, that is the single best sporting achievement last year.
Yeah.
I would even argue the last 10 years.
For Australia?
Yeah.
100%.
Besides the Sydney Olympics.
Because you look at the other nations, your Englands, your Spains, even your Frances, the Tillies stood up. And they made a difference.
They got inducted into the Sporting Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And well deserved. They've created,
you can't argue with it.
there goes the flag.
Oh, don't drop that, please.
There it is.
Don't drop that one.
There it is. I think I need to tuck it in. There we go. So I'll kick it off. So their 2023 started by lifting the Cup of Nations trophy.
Against the eventual winners of the World Cup.
Yeah. It kicked off 2023 on home soil against Czechia, Spain and Jamaica in a tournament. 3 wins for the side, so Australia lift the trophy.
Can I say something just before that? Ultra football. Whatever genius decided to put a mystery jersey in the Boxing Day sale, you guys are incredible. Please do that every year. Lovely. We actually both got Czech Republic jerseys.
The exact same.
And they'll be worn on the podcast one day. I will let you know.
I think when Euros, Czech Republic are playing.
No, my Croatia jersey will be worn on the Euros.
Listen, when they're not playing Croatia, we could wear Czech Republic.
My point will stand.
Yeah.
Croatia jersey will be.
Our boy Patrick Schick needs some support, mate.
Our boys, Kufau, mate.
Look. Back on the Tillies.
Sorry, guys,
mate.
just had to mention that.
Claire Pokingham, 152 appearances, not too long after the Cup of Nations trophy.
Yep. She's been an iconic player for us.
No, she has.
Absolute stalwart at the back. Sure, she didn't play enough minutes this year. Yeah. Obviously, there was some brilliant players. You got Alana Kennedy. And you got Claire Hunt. Claire Hunt, a revelation, started the WestYdney Wanderers, now under Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes.
For the female team, obviously. Mate, revelation.
Yeah.
I think she hadn't played a handful of games for the Aussies before that World Cup.
Yeah.
Mate, look at her.
Yeah. And we'll go through that squad and what they've done and where they've gotten to a bit after. A quick few run-throughs. Injury returns, saw Ellie Carpenter come back from an ACL injury against Scotland. Charlie Grant, who just signed
first ever goal.
Yeah, scored a first ever goal. Sam Kerr also scoring that day. Fed Square, the jerseys came out when the FIFA Women's World Cup squad got announced.
Yeah. That was a beautiful sight to see.
It was a beautiful sight to see, and I don't think the Tillies understood what was in store. It was such a big moment, and I think that they didn't expect what was yet to come.
To be honest, Abdul, I don't think none of us understood what was about to happen.
No.
For football.
Yeah.
For football in this country and even for fans. Like, to quote KG, I know we'll get onto it. It's probably the wrong time to say it, but to quote KG, Kev was at the game. He was lucky enough to get tickets. And when that national anthem played, he had tears in his eyes. And I was at home, and if that doesn't G you up, 70,000 people in your country, in Stadium Australia, singing Advance Australia Fair,
Yeah.
that's like blows my mind.
For me, the only other time I'd felt that, and I've always go back and say it, is when you go to a big 80,000 State of Origin game where everyone's up and ready, but to bring a nation together, I know.
For me, that's New South Wales with Queensland.
Yeah.
This is the whole country. This is 24 million people in Australia.
Yeah.
Whereas don't forget our land is like 60%. I don't know. Someone quote me on that. But the middle of our land is it's inhabitable. That's the word.
Yep.
Sorry, I got there in the end. Inhabitable.
It's also
24 million people. Our country could be so much bigger, but yet 70,000 people in June singing Advance Australia Fair, packed out stadium. I was at home and I'm going, refreshing the FIFA site, give me tickets to the next game. Like that, you just want to be a part of it.
No, I know.
Seriously.
Yeah. And it's just, I never expected it. And I think it was such a big step for women's football. And that's when I go and say that Fed Square jersey presentation, it meant a lot to not just, I think, the fans at the time to see them, but I still don't think the Tillies expected.
Well, you look at that.
Next.
Even, I think the crowd picked up because it was the record-breaking attendance at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne against France 1-0. 50,000 people. Like,
and that was just the start. And that was not even like the first game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was the final game before the World Cup against Scotland. 50,000.
France.
Was it against
France 1-0?
Against France, yeah. 50,000 people, Marvel Stadium. Marvel's a bit, well, it's not necessarily huge, but it's basically packed out.
It's packed out. Sold out.
Yeah. On top of that, Mary Fowler got nominated for the Golden Girl Award,
which is the equivalent of Golden Boy. So, for example, like the Copper Trophy, like Pedri won and Bellingham. Am I speaking facts? Or
yes, Pedri, Garvey,
Pedri, Garvey, Bellingham.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent of that, and even like that, Sam Kerr getting nominated, getting in the Team of the Year. Like, seriously, guys, when did you ever think an Aussie will get a Team of the Year card in FIFA?
No.
Brother, I've spammed that loan. I've created 6 accounts, got 99 matches on Sam Kerr. That's, brother, that woman is getting played 99 matches in Foot Champs. Like, when did you ever think you will get a Team of the Year card?
With an Australian flag on it. Look, and this is the start of our Tillies, our Matildas becoming icons.
Yep.
Becoming, Australian icons for us.
And that's what I'm saying. Sure, Paris 2024 is going to be hard for the Olympics.
Yeah.
But because it was a sad ending in the semi-final against the Lionesses, it's not over.
Yeah.
It's not over. We've got a big 2027 to look forward to.
Yeah. And it might not be on home soil.
Of course it won't be.
But at the end of the day...
No, don't get me wrong, the whole nation will be behind it.
Oh, mate, honestly, I personally, and nothing to take away from the Socceroos, I have more hope in our Tillies than I do our Socceroos.
Okay.
A night we'll never forget, which was the first ever FIFA Women's World Cup game on home soil. 75,784,000 fans packed into Stadium Australia in Homebush. Ended 1-0, Steph Catley, my girl. Our left back, as they would say.
Hey, say it again.
Our left back.
I don't mind.
Match-winning penalty against Ireland. I remember that game. There was a bit of heat between McCabe and I think it was her ex-girl. There was a bit of drama there.
She's a bit of a wind-up merchant, to be honest.
I love it.
She's like Emma Martinez, but Emma Martinez is a lot worse. But for me, you said those 75,000 people. And as the games went on and as we progressed, how many more millions behind that screen, Abdul?
Yeah.
For me, that shocks people. For me, I always go back to an Ange Postecoglou quote that has always shaped my football.
Yeah.
He said this 2018 opening game before Russia. He wants to open the paper and he wants to look at it and he goes, boys, I don't want to read articles on some NRL player doing this. Get ready for the thing out. I don't want to see some NRL player doing or some AFL player. He wants to see our game.
Yeah.
Out of those 6 matches that we played, Abdul, 7 because we played third place.
Yeah.
How many out of those 7 matches did we make the front page in our country?
Almost all of them.
Did you ever think football would be on the front page of any Telegraph, on any news article, on any station in your lifetime?
I don't.
In your lifetime?
No. I never thought, to be honest with you, the stadiums would be half packed.
For me, it's an event. It's tourists. People are going to come, whatever.
Yeah.
For me, Abdul, the biggest thing was people watching.
Yeah.
Watching on television.
Yeah.
On articles, people being invested. I'm at work, every second conversation is about the Matildas.
Yeah.
Have you seen Fowler? Have you seen Kerr? Boys that I coached at that time were saying, Coach, can we do some drills like Sam Kerr? How does she finish like that? How does Mary Fowler do this? Can we can we run through the middle like Kyla Cooney cross? This is unheard of.
Yeah.
And the way that our whole country got behind it, honestly, you could argue, was it bigger than the Olympics? Was it bigger than the State of Origin in the last recent years?
I think bringing a nation together, I think obviously the Olympics was a huge momentous moment for the country. But in terms of what it did for women's football
in this country,
what it did for football in this country, what it did for all those millions of, not just, the little girls, but even the little boys that, have something to look up to follow.
Yep.
Who knows, Chelsea might have gotten a new fan because someone just watched Sam Kerr for the first time. Like little things like that people don't necessarily realize, and the effect and the impact that it has on the children and the next generation of this country.
Correct.
And to be honest with you, on to the next point, I was a bit annoyed that it was at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium for only 27,000 fans to see Australia beat Canada 4-0.
To be honest, we should have suited up the game before.
Yeah.
We should have suited up before, but credit to the girls, 4-0 win. Mate,
Yeah.
Mary Fowler, that game, remember, mate, she looked like, mate, absolute prime version of Martha.
Yeah.
In the Brazil days, absolute prime version of Martha.
Yeah. Steph Catley scored as well. Hayley Raso scored a brace. But yeah, finished first in that group, advanced to the final 8. They beat Denmark 2-0. And then the big one, which was the penalty shootout against France. And I think for me, that was the game that
changed. Yeah.
That changed the perception of this team.
Exploded.
It absolutely, the whole nation stopped.
Can I ask you something generally? Excluding your personal bias, and I know my personal bias of my greatest penalty shootouts, for example, you got Croatia against Denmark, Croatia against Russia in 2018 World
Argentina,
Cup, Croatia
France.
against Brazil. Just keep going with the Croatia thing for 1 second. Is this the greatest penalty shootout you've witnessed live?
I almost had no nails to bite on left, to be honest with you. That answers your question.
Brother, we could have won it 3 times.
Yeah.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, 3 outstanding saves, to be honest with you.
3. And then she stepped up. I'll never forget, I was at Matt's house. Me and him were at, myself and Ak and a couple of boys were at Akmar's house. And we were there. And I swear to God, I'm very respectful of people's houses when I go over. I think I actually broke a glass, or I broke some sound barrier. I broke something. Something dropped on the floor. I got yelled at, but I didn't care because we were winning.
Does it sound similar to the Emil Smith row coming on screen?
He should have scored, yes. But I justify my point. Emil Smith row is my absolute baller.
No.
But no, for me, mate, you are right. For me, that changed everything. For me, the greatest penalty shootout I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, while I put this Australian flag back on for the third time.
Fix it.
The fact that it was a Sydney girl, the fact that it was and born, she still plays for Sydney FC.
Do you want to know what inspired me? Sorry to cut you off. She actually had the opportunity to leave after the World Cup.
Yeah.
And Courtney Vine
she
said
stayed.
She wants to be that person that bridges that generation over and shows that the A-League has a product. Sorry, the W League has a product.
Yeah. And
that's just...
And it couldn't have fallen to a better person for me. Like at the end of the day, and this is what I say, that this World Cup created names. Not a lot of people would have known Courtney Vine before this World Cup.
No.
And, for a lot of people who didn't watch women's football prior to that, wouldn't have known a lot of these girls.
No.
Your Courtney Vines came about, your Hayley Rassos, Mary Fowler went from young and up and coming to bona fide superstar. Sam Kerr hit that next level, and we noticed the difference that, when she was playing and when she wasn't playing.
Oh, huge.
But like I said, that 6-5 penalty win was...
6-5? 9-8, brother. What do you mean?
I think they won 6-5 on penalties.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there was 9 penalties.
Yes.
My apologies.
That was the start of a phenomenon. And that's where they solidified their spot in Australian history for me of they've got something special. And just to quote High School Musical, it was the start of something new.
Are you Sharpay or are you Ryan? Tell me. I need to know. No, we can't move on. Are you Sharpay or Ryan? I need to know.
I'm Troy Bolton.
Okay.
Got to get your head in the game, mate.
No. It's now on air. Is that it? I don't know.
We're all in this together.
The United by High School Musical. Fair enough.
again, on to the next game, which was sadly the end of the road against England. But what saw a Puskas, when I say a Puskas winning, potential winning award.
I was at the game at Combank. They had a viewing at Combank.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, for 7,000 people, like who would think a stadium opens up their doors free of charge to come and watch a World Cup semi-final in your country to the public? Did you just absurd. Yeah. So that's one. Okay, we're losing. The noise that was generated from 7,000 people,
it's crazy,
was absurd. Yeah. People went ballistic, Abdul. Ballistic. And rightly so. What a goal. Seriously, what a goal. And the backflip.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
I know. And just it showed us the level of player and where Sam Kerr has gotten herself to. And I think we underestimated it. And I think we underestimated at that point women's football. Because at the end of the day, for me, that English team, and I follow a lot of the W League myself, there's a lot of personalities in there. There's a lot of iconic, you know them, like your Ella Toons, you got your Alex Greenwoods, your Leah Williamsons, your Kira Walshes, your Lucy Bronzes. These type of players that have gone out and become superstars. I'm going to use that word again, bona fide superstars in the women's game.
Absolutely.
Australia had that moment. Like I said, we had, I think, 8 players debut on home soil. You had Mackenzie Arnold, Courtney Vine, Mary Fowler, Claire Hunt, Kyra Cooney-Cross, Alex Kidiak, Charlie Grant, and Courtney Nevin all made their debut there. A lot of them we wouldn't have known who they were before.
No.
But look, I think my favorite part of this whole process...
He's got a weird obsession. I don't know why.
I've been missing your straw. Come on, Thomas. Strawberry kisses.
It's a good song.
It's a good song.
Hey, did you love it when Nikki Webster performed it? It was good.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It became a ringtone for a week.
I
woke up to it. I woke up 6 a.m. ready. Got to go to work. Straight up. No snooze.
Look, I think right now that song for me is Murder on the Dance Floor. And that's become Werner on the Dance Floor. And the Spurs are in the mood, but
that's an Arsenal fan saying that's crazy.
Yeah, but I think that song for me, like I said, iconic. Yeah. People started, it became. I think it hit the charts again. I'm not joking.
It's a great song.
I think that song hit the charts.
It did.
And I'm gonna use this word. I think these Matildas are trailblazers.
Yeah.
They're trailblazers for the rest of the girls and the young girls that are playing football currently, or even, the 4, 5, 6-year-old girls that want to play football in the future.
Because of these women.
They've created a laneway for them now.
Abdul, 2 things that I think, not before we end off, but for me, one, I've always said it to everyone that I've ever spoken to about football. The power of football is
unmatched.
It's unmatched.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, to no other sport.
Yeah.
The power, I don't know what it is. It's just the power of football to be able to unite in conversation, to a social gathering, to generate friendships, lifelong friendships out of nothing.
Yeah.
Out of nothing. Secondly, we need to get over this bias of comparing men's and women's football. 2 different products.
Different game.
2 different products. I don't care what anyone says. I literally now, whenever there's a Barclays WSL game on, or W League, whenever I get a chance to go down and watch it, I'll watch it, whether I'm there or whether it's digitally. It's a different product. Sure, you some passes might not connect. Sure, they might not make the exact same runs. It's a different product. And our country embraced that, supported that, and mate, you can't argue with the highest FIFA World Cup finish for this great country.
Oh, 100%. And you're spot on. Once you adjust your eye to the women's game, it's honestly, it's a whole different game.
It's beautiful to watch.
I sat there and watched the Chelsea Manchester United WSL game the other day.
Without Sammy.
Without Sammy. But, you look at Lauren James. You look at players like Guru Raitan. Even on the United side, your Ella Toons. They're special in their own right.
Even Beth Campbell had a beautiful game for Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
Midfield, she ran it.
Like it's Hannah Hampton at the back. Like you've got to kind of adjust your eye to the women's game, and when you do, you start to see how special these girls are. Yep. I still think some of them can mix it up with the men.
Mate, you saw Mary Fowler's pass against Denmark.
Oh yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. I'm telling you, seriously, male players would struggle to find that pass. Yeah. I'm not even trying to joke around with you.
And I think it's time, like you said, people, and I think they have put a bit more respect on the women's game.
Absolutely. Well, mate, listen. We're about to read out some of these ladies in the squad.
Yeah.
Some players would dream to play at these clubs, and these girls are doing it. Our girls are doing it.
Yeah.
Mate, kick us off. Mackenzie Arnold, where's she playing?
She's at West Ham. You got Ellie Carpenter at Lyon. You got Steph Catley at Arsenal. Kyra Cooney-Cross at Arsenal.
Where's the badge? Sorry, just get the zoom in.
There it is. Caitlin Ford at Arsenal. Mary Fowler's at Man City. Katrina Gorey.
Recently signed.
Recently signed with who? With West Ham.
West Ham.
Charlotte Grant as well made her debut this year.
Look at the clubs. Arsenal, Lyon. Bear in mind, Lyon are Women's Champions League champions, like 3 or 4 times. West Ham, Manchester City, Claire Hunt, Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Sam Kerr, captain of our country, playing for my favourite team in England, Chelsea. Great team. Holly McNamara, Melbourne City.
Yeah.
Our A-League girls are kicking it.
Yeah.
Well, you look at Courtney Vine.
Tegan Mika just made her debut this year. She's
at
Liverpool.
For where? Sorry? Liverpool.
She's at Liverpool. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't think a lot of people understand the standard these girls have set. I don't think they understand the level of, not just professionality, but in a sense, greatness they're achieving, skill. They're showing that they can keep up with these levels.
Haley Vassar.
Yeah.
Real
Madrid.
Unbelievable.
Like,
seriously.
we're all over Europe now.
We are.
And we're putting, and as much as these men, you had your Tim Cahills, you had your Harry Kewells, your Vidukas.
Of course.
But these girls are putting Australia on the map.
Yeah.
Whether a lot of people like it or not, these girls are putting our country on the map in Europe when it comes to football.
Abdul, sometimes it's very hard to face facts. These are just cold stone facts. You can't argue with it.
The WSL is, I don't want to say infiltrated, but it's filled with Aussies now. Even your Alana Kennedy's. Where's she? She's at Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are top clubs in Europe. Champions League, Women's Champions League clubs. Yeah. And you look at teams like Chelsea. Chelsea, as much as I hate to say it, that women's team plays unbelievable football.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
The Arsenal team, it's stacked.
Yeah.
Whether you got Ford, you've got Mead, you've got Russo, you've got Medema, you've got your Kim Littles, you've got your McCabe's that left. Like, they're Leah Williamson. My favourite, personally, my favourite women's player, my WSL player is Leah Williamson. But, you can't look past.
She's a great centre-back.
Even by this one, it's personality as well. A lot of these, and when you start following women's football, you realise they're more than just players on the field.
Correct.
They're people.
Yep.
And you actually like the people.
Yep.
Mackenzie Arnold.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
What a character.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's Gory who has a little girl.
Yes, Katrina, yeah.
And she just takes her on camps everywhere. You just see the girls.
Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video with Cooney Cross and the kids on the shoulders?
Yeah.
They're just like men's football doesn't provide that.
No, like
it's those small things.
You'll see little videos here and there, but the way it is with the women and just the environment they create, and you just feel like you almost not know them, but like they're people you genuinely like just by watching these videos, the interactions they have with the fans. Kyra Cooney-Cross just signed with Arsenal not so long ago.
Come on, man.
The chance they have for these women are crazy.
And have you seen how beautiful it was with Ian Wright and her?
Yeah.
Mate. Abdul, before we leave it with women's football, and don't get me wrong, there'll be absolute more women's football on this channel. My statement to you guys: stop hating it, start embracing it.
Yeah.
Nothing else we can say there. And
I think at the end of the day as well, and Tom and I have been talking about it for weeks. I think women's football will become a staple in this podcast.
It's only going to grow.
And for me,
in this country as well, it's going to grow.
Yeah. And like you said, you got to embrace it. It's growing, and it's growing a lot faster than people like sometimes. And I think
that's the thing.
At the end of the day, when people talk about equality in football, that's a different conversation.
Abdul, like I said to you at the start, it's 2 different products.
It's 2 different products, and if you can't see that yourself, that's your own problem.
My question to you before we go:
yeah,
how does the future look for women's football? I know it's silly; it's only going to grow, and you're saying it's unprecedented. If you could give me a forecast for the next 3 to 4 years, this next generation, these 13-year-olds becoming 16, these 8-year-olds becoming, let's not embarrass myself, 11 years old. This sort of, are they going to grow this participation rate? Is it going to skyrocket? What's your thoughts?
It's laying a platform. Like, it really is laying a platform for these girls to take off. Because at the end of the day, if you've heard enough about Sam Kerr's story, Sam Kerr was playing with the boys up until what age? She had a bob cut.
13, 14.
Bob cut looked like she genuinely had to look like a boy to play football.
And now the beautiful thing is they've got their own comps.
And comps.
They can choose mix if they like.
Yeah, and it's growing, like I said, at a rate that I don't think will stop. I think it will get to a point where, you know, the W League will become, as for me, as prevalent as the A League, because
I'll say that
the European side of women's football is growing.
Yep.
Okay, and it's going to get to a point where, similar to how it is with the men's game,
Mm-hmm.
these teams are full. They're stacked, and more girls after.
full, and their stadiums are full as well.
Yeah, you know, you've got your women's side of college football. That's going to grow. You've got your, as we've seen with a lot of these with these girls, they play outside of England. They play outside of Spain and France in the big 5 leagues. You know, that'll grow. The W League will grow. Hopefully the W League becomes a standpoint for female players of all over the world to come play here.
Yes.
That way Australia has
point.
its own marquee league to go forward.
Yep.
And I think...
Sort of like America. You can't credit, as much as I dislike Megan Rapinoe, great player. But you sort of want to sort of be like that, where their league is still a very competitive league. And a lot of their stars were born and stayed in that league. Yeah. Like you look at Alex Morgan. Yeah. Hope Solo a couple of years ago in goals. Smith, what's her name? Team of the year. Sophia Smith. Yep. Staying in their league, making their league a force to be reckoned with. That's what we sort of want in the W League.
Yeah. And I think it could get there,
of course,
personally. And you know what? Like, it's up to us as well. And I think it's up to people like you and I, for example, to spread this word to a lot of, we know a lot of people that won't watch the women's game.
Of course.
It's up to people like us to embrace it
our job
as well. It's our job to carry the name too.
Our responsibility.
And we've seen it. We've seen the light. You know, we've seen how good women's football is, how it can be, and how it's going and where it can improve. And it's going there.
Of course it is.
All right. I'm praying that money doesn't infiltrate it like it does the men's game.
However, when you grow, it is nature, like any business. It is nature that money will start to show its hand, unfortunately. Yeah. But we want to listen. We can't criticize money being invested into the game, Abdul. But
just don't want it to ruin a beautiful thing.
Don't want it to ruin a beautiful thing, and don't want to make these players transfer values grow like that. I'm not talking about wages. Yeah. Please don't quote me in terms of wages. Yeah. But I'm talking about, we don't want to ruin a beautiful thing, but there's nothing wrong with investing money into women's football. Yeah. Like we had a couple of sorry, I know we're going over time, but we had a couple of podcasts ago. We talked about the funding that football gets in this country. That's not what I want to lose. I don't want to lose that funding in football. No. Where we lose that, where the government provides 3.5 million and rowing and paddleball have more. Yeah. I'm sorry. Does rowing and paddleball connect the whole country like the Matildas do?
And I think it's a big wake up. And that's a conversation for another day. I think it's a big wake up call. You saw the effect that Women's World Cup had. Do your thing. It's as simple as that. But look, I think we're going to leave it there. I think we've really just talking about it for this last 20, 25 minutes is kind of...
But it's made me emotional.
Honestly. I
can't even lie.
I'm not joking. I'm actually so proud to be Australian right now.
And honestly, what a better topic. There's no better topic that we could have done for this segment leading up to an Australia Day. And like we said, we're so proud to be Australian. We are, and we just wanted to highlight what the Matildas have done for our beautiful country and for myself and Abdul and for everyone at UBF. Yeah. The way they've absolutely changed and moulded our thoughts on football in this country. Yeah. Superb. Yeah. And we are truly united by football. Yeah. Simple as that. Now, speaking of united by football, I've been Thomas.
I've been Abdul.
And we are
united by football.
Ciao.